Roma had survived First Contact, the Harvest Wars, and 3 years as a prisoner of the Velkhari Empire. He never thought he'd survive a marriage proposal from Empress Zinthara herself. "You misunderstand," the towering figure before him said, her crystalline skin refracting the light of a dozen suns through the throne room's viewport. "This is not a request, human Roma. It is an inevitability." Anna squeezed his shoulder from behind, her presence the only thing keeping him grounded. His fellow human survivor had become more than a friend during their captivity. She was family, the sister he'd never had back on Earth. "Your Majesty," Anna spoke up, her voice steady despite the 100 Velkhari guards surrounding them. "Perhaps you could explain why you want to marry him. Humans typically marry for love, not political convenience." Zinthara's multifaceted eyes locked onto Anna, and Roma felt his friend tense. The Empress had executed people for less than speaking out of turn, but instead Zinthara laughed, a sound like wind chimes in a hurricane. "Love?" The Empress descended from her throne, each step deliberate. "You humans and your quaint concepts. I have studied your species for 3 solar cycles. Do you know what I discovered?" Roma and Anna exchanged glances. They'd been specimens, test subjects, entertainment for the empire that had glassed a quarter of Earth's surface before humanity surrendered. "We discovered," Zinthara continued, circling them like a predator, "that you are impossible. By every metric, every calculation, every law of nature we understand, you should not exist. We're just carbon-based life forms," Roma said quietly. "Nothing special." "Nothing special?" Zinthara's voice boomed, and the room fell silent. "Your planet orbits in a cosmic shooting gallery. Your star will eventually consume your world. Your bodies are fragile, inefficient, prone to disease and decay. You live for mere moments compared to us." She stopped directly in front of Roma, towering over him. "And yet," her voice softened, becoming almost reverent, "you reached for the stars anyway. You built civilizations. You created art. You loved, laughed, dreamed. You chose to be more than your biology." Anna's grip on Roma's shoulder tightened. This wasn't the tyrant they'd expected. "When we invaded Earth," Zinthara continued, "we expected surrender within days. We've conquered 600 species across 3 galaxies. Most fall within hours. But you?" Her laugh returned, gentler this time. 72 days. You fought with sticks when your weapons failed. You hacked our systems with primitive computers. Your soldiers sacrificed themselves to save civilians, not for glory, but because they chose to." "We still lost," Roma said bitterly. "You still lived," Zinthara corrected. "Every species we've conquered either serves us or dies. But you humans? You sing in your work camps. You tell stories to children in detention centers. You fall in love in prisons." Her gaze fixed on Roma. "You refused to stop being human even when we tried to break you." Roma thought of the past 3 years, of Anna teaching youngsters mathematics with scratched diagrams on cell walls, of Old Man Chen, who'd led them in songs from Earth during the darkest times, of Maya and Kenzo, who'd married with makeshift rings fashioned from scrap metal. Tears of joy streaming down faces marked by hardship. "The Velkhari Empire is dying," Zinthara said, and this admission sent shockwaves through the throne room. Guards shifted uncomfortably. "We are biologically immortal, technologically superior, militarily unmatched, and we are dying. We have not produced new art in 4,000 years. We have not felt genuine emotion in longer. We exist, but we do not live." She knelt before Roma, an empress kneeling before a prisoner. "I don't want to marry you for politics, Roma of Earth. I want to marry you because in 3 years of captivity, I watched you teach 37 other prisoners to read and write in my language. I watched you care for the sick when my own guards would not. I watched you remain human when every force in this empire tried to strip that from you. You want him to teach you to be human, Anna said, understanding dawning in her voice. I want humanity to save us, Zinthara confirmed. Not as slaves, but as partners. Our strength, your spirit, our technology, your creativity, our immortality, your passion for the time you have. And if I refuse? Roma asked. Zinthara stood, but her expression held no threat. Then I will release every human captive with full reparations, provide ships to return you to Earth, and watch my empire continue its slow death. She paused. But I hope you won't. Roma looked at Anna, who nodded slowly. He thought of Earth, scarred, but surviving, of the humans in camps across the empire, of the choice between revenge and reconciliation. I have conditions, he said finally. Name them. Every human goes free, immediately. Earth receives reparations and technology to rebuild. And this isn't just about me. You integrate humanity into your empire as equals, not subjects. Full rights, full representation. Agreed. And, Roma continued, surprising himself, you learn what it means to be human. Not just marriage, but friendship, art, music, imperfection. You'll eat food that isn't optimized. Watch stories that make you cry. Feel things that hurt. Zinthara's crystalline face somehow managed to smile. That sounds terrifying. It is, Anna interjected with a small laugh. Being human is mostly being terrified and doing it anyway. Then it is settled? Zinthara extended a hand, a human gesture she'd clearly studied. Roma took it, feeling the cool smoothness of her crystalline skin. It's settled. But I'm not promising to fall in love with you. Good, Zinthara said, and for the first time, Roma heard genuine emotion in her voice. Humans have taught me that the best things cannot be commanded. They must be chosen. Anna squeezed Roma's shoulder one more time, pride evident in her eyes. Roma had survived first contact, the harvest wars, and 3 years as a prisoner. Now, somehow, he was going to survive being the bridge between two civilizations, one ancient and powerful, one young and impossible. It was the most human thing he could do.